Showcase. I'm Josh, ACT's Artistic and Education Director, and tonight we are here to showcase our wonderful seniors who are graduating. You'll see lots of them coming up here. They'll each have a little interview and maybe a talent or so. But without much further ado, let's jump right in with our first guest.
Hi, I'm Hannah Damrell, and I just recently graduated from Cinco Ranch High School in Katy, Texas.
Nice, excellent. Well, we're starting all these off with kind of the how did you get started with theater and kind of what was that process like for you?
So my first show was at ACT. It was Oliver,
Mm-hmm.
and I played a little orphan. I had a blanket with me.
Mm-hmm.
You were the director,
Mm-hmm.
and I just really enjoyed it, and so I figured I could keep doing shows and see like how it was and if I still enjoyed it. And I did.
Nice, absolutely. Is there a just kind of overall like what's one of like your favorite theater memories you have of being in theater?
um, Honestly, it's the friends that I've made. Like, um, all the friends that I made, like I still know them, and I still hang out with them. Um, but yeah, I've definitely made some lifelong friends in the theater.
Yeah, that's actually one of my favorite responses just because that I think is what we like to do when who we're here is just like to help build those connections and understand that like the people that you meet along the way are just they're really important. So yeah, absolutely. That kind of leads us into a little bit of what does being at ACT or what has being at ACT meant to you?
I think being at ACT um, has definitely made me more like independent. Like I'm able to work on my own more. Like with characters, I'm able to sit down and just like look into them and understand them more. And then I also think it's helped me work like with more teamwork.
Hmm.
Um, Being in like big ensembles and being an intern, that really helped me. And so I know how to work as an individual and in a group setting now.
Yeah, I love that. Love that so much. Is there a favorite ACT memory or a thing that you think back on that you can remember?
Um, Honestly, it was during summer stage as an intern. I worked on choreography for Aladdin,
Mm-hmm.
and once once the like first song started, like as the show, um, seeing all the kids being able to dance, it really made me happy.
Yeah.
And so I just really enjoyed seeing all the hard work these kids put in,
Yeah.
and how I was able to help put it on.
Yeah, I love that's one of my favorite parts as well is watching not only them, but then you all that are teaching them, just seeing it all come together is just I absolutely feel that. Now that we've looked back a little bit, what are kind of your plans for your future?
So I plan to do a fall semester at CBC,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm hoping to apply and get into the Disney College program,
Cool.
either in Florida or in California. I haven't really decided.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Awesome. Well, that is excellent. Are there any other ACT or any other theater memories you'd like to share or anything else before we throw to your talent?
No.
All right. Well, next up, you're going to see Hannah, and she'll be singing from Matilda. What song are you singing?
Quiet.
There you go. Enjoy.
Have you ever wondered, well I have, about how when I say red, for example, there's no way of knowing if red means the same thing in your head as red means in my head when someone says red, and how if we are travelling at almost the speed of light, and we're holding a light, that light would still travel away from us at the full speed of light, which seems right in a way. What I'm trying to say, I'm not sure, but I wonder if inside my head I'm not just a bit different from some of my friends. These answers that come into my mind unbidden, these stories delivered to me fully written, and when everyone shouts like they seem to like shouting, the noise in my head is incredibly loud, and I just wish they'd stop, and my dad and my mum and the telly and stories would stop for just once. I'm sorry, I'm not quite explaining it right, but this noise becomes anger, and the anger is light, and it's burning inside me. We usually faint, but it is here today, and the heat and the shouting, and my heart is pounding, and my eyes are burning, and suddenly everything is quiet. Like silence, but not really silent. Just that nice kind of quiet. Like the sound of a page being turned in our book. Or a pause in our walk in the woods. Quiet. Like silence, but not really silent. Just that still sort of quiet. Like the sound when you lie upside down in your bed. Just the sound of your heart in your head. And though there are people around me, their mouths are still moving. The words they are forming cannot reach me anymore. And it is quiet, and I am warm, like I've into the eye of the storm.
Welcome back. I've got our next guest here for you this evening, and I'll have her introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Delaney Bleffin, and I'm graduating from Southridge High School.
Awesome. Welcome, Delaney. Welcome. Well, as with all of our guests tonight, we're starting with a little bit about what does kind of theater mean to you, or maybe what's a favorite memory of theater that you have?
Theater has always kind of been like, and it's might not sound great, but it's kind of been like escapism for me.
Yeah.
It's been like a good way, like going into some other kind of mind and headspace and just away from just reality, which is nice at times.
Yeah, no, I think there's a lot of us that use it that way. That's really wonderful. Absolutely. How did you get started in doing things in theater or with ACT?
Honestly, I don't remember how I heard about it. I think I had a friend who was, I don't even remember, but I just kind of went and auditioned for Nancy Drew, and this other show, I don't really remember the other show, but I got casted in it, and ever since then, I've just been really involved with theater.
Nice, absolutely. So Nancy Drew was your first show here. What is the most recent show or class thing you've done with ACT?
Like show I would say it would have been Freaky Friday. And then technically there was the Wrinkle in Time, which we did the rehearsals for, but then it kind of COVID, and then we did the video thing. And
Yes.
That was interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. So what is maybe a favorite memory or a favorite experience you have of being involved with ACT?
I did the Neverending Story, and I just remember there's not one specific memory from it, but I just remember I had a lot of fun, like off stage and even on stage, and it was just a really good group of people.
Yes.
And then another great memory I have is, I think it was during Wizard of Oz. I was in the back room there,
Mhm.
I had to open up all of the paints, check what they are,
No.
close them again and organize them, and that sounds horrible, but it was actually really fun.
There you go. Organizing paints, always a good time, absolutely, yes. Well, I remember with Neverending Story too, there were so many of those good costumes and the props and everything, and Emily was directing that one, so yeah, it's just good times indeed.
It was really great.
What has your time here at ACT meant to you?
It's been like a really good place where I could feel like I could like be myself.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a lot of where I could met great people, probably some of my favorite people I've ever met. People who just, it's been like a home, kind of.
Yeah,
That sounds
absolutely.
cheesy, but it's a home.
No, it's all right. Yeah, absolutely. As we always say, once you're a member of our family, always a member of our family. Absolutely. And what are your kind of plans for the future as of now?
I'm actually going to UC Irvine, which is the shirt I'm wearing.
Nice.
And I'm going to be studying film.
Cool.
And I'm hoping to go into like actual film. I don't know if I fully want to do like film. I think I want to do like script writing,
Mm-hmm.
but that might change, and I might like directing or anything like that. But I've really begun to have an interest in like behind the camera and the process of making stuff.
Mhm.
I still love acting, but there's just something extremely cool about that. And like even more specific, I think I really want to go into like horror movies.
Ooh, okay.
I am a huge horror nerd, so I know basically any movie about facts about it, and it's
Nice. I love it. Yeah, I think as we do kind of grow up, and especially in film, there's a lot of really cool, fun work that you can do behind the camera, stuff like that. So that'll be always fun and exciting. And of course, you don't have to know what you're going to do right now.
Sure.
Absolutely. So, yeah. Well, Delaney, is there any other memories or things you'd like to share with our audience here this evening?
well, I know there are some, none that I can think of at the top of my head. There's been a lot.
Totally fair. Well, Delaney, we so appreciate you having you in our family. We appreciate you being here. Hello, everyone. I am here with our guest this evening. Well, one of our guests this evening. Feel free to introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Stephen Harris.
And you are getting ready to graduate from where?
Home.
Home. From home, indeed. Yes, it's okay. We all graduate from home. You know, absolutely. Yes. Awesome. Well, welcome, welcome. We start with kind of what got you involved with theater or ACT in general.
Well, I started off as a voice actor online
Mhm.
for a good 2 years. I was like, okay, this is fun, but I want to do something more. I want to do something else. What can I do actively? And then my mom found this Facebook post for auditions for Keeping Mr. Lincoln and Elf Jr. I was like, I know what Elf is, but why is he Junior? But I auditioned. I got cast as teenager/children.
Mhm.
And I was like, I am so not in my element because I was used to playing football. A lot of testosterone.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's not the type here.
No.
It's very comforting and welcoming, which football is at times, but a lot of aggression, you know. But it was such a different experience. Like, you know, I'm not in pads, I'm dancing,
Mhm.
I'm singing, and talking to, having conversations with some of the most interesting and I can't think of the word I'm trying to think of, but just broad amounts of different characters and people, and it's just incredible.
Absolutely, yeah. That's the kind of the different people you get to meet and talk with, and making those personal connections is absolutely one of my favorite things about being involved as well. So, was Elf Junior your first production with ACT?
First theater production ever.
Ever? Oh, nice! Absolutely, awesome. Oh, and you did a great job as our teenager
thank
as
you.
well. Yes. And what would be your most recent theatrical project you've done?
I was Chad Danforth in High School Musical Junior.
Absolutely. You had me laughing so many times during that show. I was all over the place. It was great. I loved it. What has being at ACT meant to you?
Everything. It changed my perspective on like who I am, what I wanted to do in my life. Like, so first, again, I was a voice actor, and I was like, yeah, I don't think I want to do this as a career, though. I kind of want to have a chance at paying rent. But then, like, theater just, it's like, yeah, no, this is what I want. This is my passion this is probably going to define my personality for death.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, absolutely. Do you have a specific favorite memory or experience from being at your time here?
Favorite memory? There's one that really stands out in my head only because that involves my family.
Right. Yeah.
During Frozen Junior, I was the king, and we were a 2-show day.
Mm-hmm.
I had to take off my crown and change out of my clothes. It doesn't take place at ACT, but still, it's really funny. Only would have happened thanks to ACT. My dad's in the parking lot, and I asked, "Can we just go to McDonald's for lunch and head right back here?" He's like, "Yep." So we go, and my dad's staring down this truck as he's driving, and he says, "Who's that ugly guy in the truck?" I'm like, "What? Why would you say that to him?" And we pull into the park, go through the drive-through park, and then a guy in a truck pops out, and it's my uncle. And he walks out, my dad rolls down his windows, and he goes, "I was just saying, who's that ugly guy in the van?" My dad was like, "Remember when I told you that my teachers used to say that we shared the same brain?" I was like, "Yeah, that is the perfect example of that."
Absolutely. Nice. Awesome. What is your plans for the future as of now?
Stay here, save some money, and eventually move out to good old Hollywood.
Nice.
And try and make it.
Absolutely. Awesome. Well, Stephen, is there anything else that you want to share with our audience this evening? There you go. I love it. I love it indeed. All right, Stephen, we're going to throw to you during a monologue right now.
Hi. You just saw me. I'll be doing a monologue from the greatest film of all time, Scooby-Doo 2: Monsters Unleashed. This is Shaggy by the lake at the original Mystery Incorporated Clubhouse. Like, they're totally having a montage in there without us. Well, I'll tell you one thing, Scoob. They need our help to figure it out. Like, the only time we ever do anything on purpose, or to help the gang, is when we accidentally plow into the Snow Ghost because we've accidentally glued our feet to rocket-powered roller skates. Face it, Scoob. We'll never be anything more than our old goofy selves. I wish once, just once, I could do the right thing on purpose. Like be a hero. And save the day. But who are we kidding, right, Doc?
Yo, doggy! Troy, my hoops boy!
Hey, Chad. Dudes, Happy New Year.
Oh, yes, my brothers. It will be a happy Wildcat New Year!
I'm excited to welcome in our next guest tonight, and I will have her introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Sadie. I am graduating from Kamiakin High School.
Yeah, excellent. Well, let's just jump right in as well. Tell me a little bit about your kind of theater history, or maybe a favorite theater memory that you have, and kind of how you got involved.
Well, my favorite, so I started out at ACT in like 2013, where I did a Harry Potter class, and it was the Chamber of Secrets, and I played Gilderoy Lockhart, and Julie was actually the teacher.
Nice.
And ever since then, I kind of fell in love with ACT. My favorite theater memory is probably when we went to Gettysburg with Keeping Mr. Lincoln, and just everything about that experience was amazing, and I'm really glad I did it, and that memory lives very fondly in my brain.
Mine as well. I think it's something that's gonna kind of be there and just kind of one of those lifelong things. I'm so grateful to get to have done that with you all as well. So yeah, absolutely. So kind of that in mind, you kind of said your first kind of theatrical experience at ACT. What is your most recent experience at ACT?
Oh, my most recent would have been, well, interning over the summer.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then before that, it was doing sound for Freaky Friday, and my last acting was Matilda, where I was a parent and also Sergei.
Mhm. Yes, you and the Russian accent.
Yeah.
There it was. Awesome. What kind of impact or impression has being an ACT student made on you?
I was like thinking about this beforehand. And,
Yep.
Well, it's definitely shaped my life a lot. I definitely grew up here, and as a person who has like mental disorders like ADHD and anxiety and depression, it was a very comforting place and just a place that I always wanted to be. And it was such a like strong comfort place that like my mom refused to have like taking away ACT as a punishment because she knew that that would just like worsen my mental state. And so there's, I think it's an Oscar Wilde quote, but I'm not sure, and it's through theater I lived. And so I think of that a lot. I have something that September Terrio actually gave me that came with a little card that said that, and when she gave me that, that made me cry because it just made me think of that. And how ACT has just really always been there, and it's always been a very great place, and it's where I met my best friends who I like talk to every single day and who also shaped my life. And so, and having excellent support people around, just ACT really just made my life better.
Oh, thank you, Sadie. You definitely, certainly made all of our lives better, and we really loved having you here. And as you know, and I'll probably say this in every interview, but once a member of our family, always a member of our family, and you know that we'll be here as well. So, but speaking of kind of transitioning that as well, what is, obviously I know everything's like changing all things, but what is, at least currently, your plans for the future?
So currently, I'm planning on, well, first getting a job so that I have enough money to go to college, because I don't want to just go to college because that seems like the right thing to do.
Yep.
And then hopefully going to CBC, and then hopefully transferring to a bigger college afterwards, and getting my business major. And then right now my loose plan is move over into the Seattle area and open up a used bookstore. So
Nice, I love it. Well, listen, you do that, and you know you have a customer for life, at least right here. So there you go.
I'm glad.
Is there any other ACT memories or things or anything else you'd like to share as we're wrapping up today?
Well, the internship is absolutely amazing. It's a fantastic program because not only did I get a job experience and get to work with kids, but also I got to spend time with my friends and work with them, and that really just made my entire summer worth it, because I wasn't just sitting around doing nothing. It gave me something to do, and it was something I enjoyed, and I got to spend time at a place that made me happy and around people that made me happy. And so the internship is just really amazing. And if anyone who isn't graduating is watching this, I recommend you do it next year. So
Well, thank you for the plug
Yeah.
as well. Yes. Well, thank you for your kind words. Thank you for being here. And we'll talk to you soon, Zadie.
Let's go ahead and we'll get started. Go ahead and start by just introducing yourself.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Humberstad. I go to Prosser High School.
Awesome, Elizabeth. Welcome today. So we're going to start out here, just starting a little bit of, tell us a little bit about your time in theater. Maybe what's a fun memory of theater that you have, and how'd you kind of get involved?
I've done theater for almost what feels like my whole life. I've made a lot of connections to just everybody in theater, and it's just been my whole life.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think my favorite memories have been making connections with actors and crew members. I really like going up on the stage and just becoming a part of the story.
Excellent, excellent. That's wonderful. I know it's only been a brief time with you being with us at ACT, but how has your time at ACT been impactful or helpful to you?
ACT has strengthened my passion to continue with theater. Even though it's, like you said, been a brief time that I've been with ACT, just going into the recording sessions and just talking with the people that are involved, I don't know, it makes me think that that's really what I want to do with the rest of my life. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of the future, obviously you're moving on to some new things. What's the future hold for you, at least as of this moment?
Yeah, so in the fall, I'm going to be attending Eastern to study theater. So I want to continue to grow in my theater skills and my singing skills. And I know it's like a shaky career, but like still trying to figure out some backup plans.
Well, that is all right. We always love those students that are passionate about theater and stuff like that, because it's a fun career. I mean, listen, I have been lucky enough to make a career out of it. So, who knows? You might just find that passion in that place where it is. So yeah, absolutely. Was High School Musical the first show or anything that you had done with ACT?
I had done a dance class a couple years ago that I really liked, and I think that was kind of like I knew about you guys after that, and that's why I auditioned for High School Musical, was because I knew about you guys.
Yeah, excellent. Is there any specific fun memory of ACT that you have, whether it be that dance class or during the show, that you want to share?
I loved the dances that I had with Kiana. Those were really fun. I just, I think it was something like I hadn't gone anywhere in a long time because of quarantine and stuff like that, and it was fun.
Yeah, watching you two kind of come together and like just find that really like it looked like you had a really close like sibling bond, even though it was one of the first times you were meeting in person, was just really fun as well. Like I was just really it was fun. It was fun all around. Yeah. Well, do you have any other last things that you would like to share with our audience here tonight?
I just really love ACT, and I'm gonna miss it. And I'll have to figure out ways to stay involved.
There you go. That's the truth. Because once, like I said, member of our family, always member of our family. Well, thank you, Elizabeth. Congratulations on graduation and those next steps. And we certainly will talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Always right beside me. This feeling's like no other. I want you to know I've never had someone that knows me like you do. Someone as good for me as you.
Hello, how are you?
Wow, I'm doing well.
Awesome. Feel free to take a moment to let our audience know who you are, just in case they're not familiar.
Hello, my name is Alexis Williams.
And you are graduating from?
And I'm graduating from Liberty Christian School.
Excellent. So, also, as we're getting started here today, why don't you start by talking about what are maybe some good memories you have of theater, how you got started, kind of what theater means a little bit to you?
Well, how I got started was I never had like an activity or a club or anything that I did, and I always really wanted that because my friends were in I know a lot of my friends did like DI or sports or something, and I just never had that. And I tried out dance and gymnastics and all these things, and it just never worked out. And so I was searching for something to put my time into. And I think my mom one day was like, hey, they're doing Mulan as a camp at this place called ACT. Like, do you want to do it? And I was like, acting? Whatever. Sure. And I was like, what else am I going to be doing? And so I did it. And we signed up, and I went, and I was really reluctant at first, but then I started having fun, and I was like, okay, this is fun, but I don't know if it's my passion or anything. Like, it's just fun.
And then I remember very, very distinctly on opening night, I played Ancestor Pong.
Great.
Could not tell you who that character was, what any of the lines were. I had an orange flower crown.
The important thing, the orange flower crown.
Literally.
Absolutely, yes.
Only important thing. And so I remember opening night, I was really, really nervous. And I was like, oh no, what am I going to do? What am I going to get my lines? And I remember, like, we were the first ones on stage. It was just the ancestors, and we were on podiums. And it was dark, and I was like, it's dark. I can't see. This is so stressful. And I stepped on stage, and I was like, oh my goodness. Oh, and we didn't even have wings or anything. The entire cast, I remember, was behind the curtain, sitting there. I was so nervous. And so I walked on stage, and I was so nervous, and there was like a storm brewing inside me, terrified. And then the lights came up, and it's like I wasn't nervous anymore. It was like a snap, and I was like, this is where I'm supposed to be. Like, this is it. And I remember that moment super vividly, and I think about it. I think about it like every time I go on stage.
Absolutely.
So,
well, that's awesome. That's a wonderful memory. So that was your first ACT class or show?
yes, it was.
And what is the most recent thing people might have seen you in?
The most recent thing you might have seen me in is High School Musical.
Nice.
I played Kelsey Nielsen,
Absolutely.
my girl.
It was fun to get to see Kelsey playing the piano, learning some of the songs.
Oh, definitely.
Absolutely. So what does ACT kind of mean to you, or what has it meant to you over the years?
Oh my goodness. ACT has meant the world and more. ACT was the first place I actually felt like I belonged somewhere. So, yeah, it's helped me define who I am. It's helped me define what I want to do in the future, what I like doing now. Like, ACT has shaped me in ways that, like a family would shape you. Like, I feel like most of my morals and, like, passions and likes and dislikes and friendships and relationships have all, like, everything comes back to ACT in some way, shape, or form. And, yeah, it's just like a home away from home. Sometimes I was even here more than I was at my own home. And I loved it. I loved every moment of it. And looking back, I miss it and I love it. And I wouldn't change anything. And, yeah, it just, when I think of what ACT means to me, it just means what it means to belong somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of looking back there, is there a specific or favorite kind of memory you have of your time here?
Oh my goodness. Oh, there's so many. What a loaded question. I think of all the things I've done, interning has been the closest, nearest, dearest to my heart. Honorable mentions include Gettysburg and Mulan and A Wrinkle in Time, and yeah, that's it.
Great.
Oh, also everything else I've ever done. Honorable mentions. But specifically those, and more specifically interning, has just as a whole has done so much for me. Like, if you would have asked me, when did I start interning? 2018. If you would have asked me, like, in 2017, what I wanted to be, I would be like, I'm going to be a veterinarian, and it's going to be amazing, and I'm a doctor girl. And then, if you would have said I was going to want to be a teacher and like children, I would have been like, absolutely not. Because I could not stand kids. I would avoid them like the plague.
I think I even remember in your first intern interview, you were like, I don't know if I want to be with the littlest ones. You're like, can I be with the older ones?
I remember saying that to you. I don't want to be with the little ones. But that is like, oh my goodness. The little children, I just love them. I don't think I can think of a moment when I'm happier than when I'm in, like, talking to, like, a 3-year-old.
Yeah.
I love them. And that's not really a specific memory. But interning as a whole, I'm going to do it. So, my favorite memory has to be my last in-person year interning, when I had
my dear friend Kathy Holbrook and Jonathan Howell were my interns, and we were interning on Josh's class. And I don't remember what class it was, but that whole year was just incredible. What a dynamic. I miss those classes so much. Every week we would be keeling over laughing because of something that happened, and it's not even, and the kids wouldn't even know. They were like rocking with it, it was fine, and we were just laughing. But a specific memory I have is I remember me and Jonathan were identical twins.
Of course.
And we decided to be British, and none of us can do a British accent, and you were like our uncle or something. And we decided to do British accents, and then the whole plot was that we were like in England or something. And so then Kathy had to do a British accent too, and so the whole hour of class that we had left was just us trying to talk to each other in the worst accents ever. Like none of them were good, and they all sounded different. Like we were not from the same place in London. If we are twins, I don't know where we grew up separately.
And the kids, they just rolled with it.
Oh yeah, they were like, yeah, you're British.
Yep,
and
absolutely.
I was like, yeah, I am. So, and I just remember that was so funny. And then me and Jonathan had this whole plot. It was this whole bit that we had when we were going to do different accents every week. And I remember we would be like, did you watch a video on how to be Irish? Because you need to study up.
Nice.
And it was just so funny.
Nice.
And that always made me so happy to remember that. Yeah.
Well, excellent.
Oh,
yeah.
Another honorable mention about interning is my favorite Dear Beloved book. It's a Paw Patrol book.
Of course.
And it's about finding gold or treasure or something.
It's gold. So I think it's called Gold Rush.
Yeah, and you have this map. Well, it's a poster that came with the book, and Josh cut it into 4 pieces, and we would hide them around the classroom. And the funniest part about it is that the interns, we would all have one, and we'd be walking, and we'd be just like, it wasn't nonchalant. It wasn't cool. Sometimes, if a student hadn't ever found one, we were like, it was so funny. And I just loved that book, and it just enthralled me. And my boy Rubble, my favorite Paw Patrol member, I love that book.
Well, now that we've looked back a little bit, what are your plans for the future?
In the fall, I will be attending CBC to pursue a career in education. And I'm either going to do a 4-year teaching certificate at CBC or transfer to a 4-year like Eastern Washington or Central. Not sure, but yeah. And then this summer, I'll be teaching here at ACT.
Yeah, brought on to our staff as well. Well, do you have any final thoughts or memories that you want to share with our audience today?
No, just I'm really, really grateful for the years that I've spent at ACT and the friendships that I've made. And my heart is full of gratitude for this space and these people and the memories that I have. So thank you so much.
Thank you, absolutely. Well, we do have one last thing for you because we have somewhat of an announcement for you as well. We have an announcement for you that you are one of 2 recipients of our Hoffman Scholarship this year.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, congratulations! So yeah, absolutely. We're very honored to be able to give you that scholarship. So yeah. Yeah, absolutely. We're so happy to give it to you. Absolutely. All right, friends. Well, Alexis has a talent, and we're going to throw it over to her doing that now.
Hi, my name is Alexis Williams, and I will be doing a monologue from A Wrinkle in Time, and I will be portraying Meg Murray. I hate this weather. It's the worst it's ever been. It's gonna blow the house down. I'm sure of it. Or at least the roof. It's a hurricane, and it's gonna blow the roof off, and I'm going to get tossed into the wild night sky, and no one will know because they're all asleep, and I'm stuck in this attic all alone. I hate this attic. I hate everything, and it's not just the weather. It's the weather on top of everything, on top of me. On top of Meg Murray. doing everything all wrong. Thank you.
To Rufus Xavier Sarsaparilla. Phew, I could say that, but I don't have to, because I got pronouns I can say. He found a kangaroo that followed him home, and now it is his. You see, he, him, and his are pronouns replacing the noun. Rufus Xavier.
All right, friends, welcome back this evening. I'm here with our next guest, and of course, they're going to introduce themselves.
Hello, my name is Jonathan Howell, and I'm graduating from Kamiakin High School.
Awesome, Jonathan. Well, welcome. So let's get started with talking about kind of how you first got started with ACT, or maybe kind of your first kind of theatrical experiences.
All right, so my first experience with ACT actually came from watching a show. I watched my sister, Cleo, in Treasure Island, and I was really fascinated by it. I was like, I've never seen anything like this before. I had only, my only activity had been really just sports and then some academic stuff like chess. And so when I saw this whole theater thing, I was like, well, I want to try it. So then I auditioned for the next show that I could, and it was Winnie the Pooh. So that was my first show, and then I was a honeybee in that show. And yeah, ever since then, I've just been doing so many shows every single year, as much as I can, because it's just been such a wonderful and rewarding experience that I will hopefully continue to do for the rest of my life.
Yeah, absolutely. So starting out as a honeybee, and what may be the most recent thing people have seen you in?
The most recent thing I was in was in High School Musical, where I played Troy Bolton.
Nice, absolutely. And what has being at ACT meant to you over the years?
It's been so much. It's meant so much to me, because I have learned so many things from being here and from doing things here. And I've gained so many things as well, like a community of people that I can be just myself around, and that I can just make friends and have people that just are understanding and easy to talk with. And then also it's just taught me so many things, like how I can become a better person for other people, how I can use what I know to help other people and be an influence in their lives as much as I can.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I feel that, and I see that growth and all that stuff that you've had as well. That's wonderful. Awesome. What is maybe a favorite or a positive ACT memory or experience that you want to share?
Okay, there are so many of those that it's so hard to pick my specific favorite one. But one thing that I do remember was in Holes, one night it was a Saturday, so we had a matinee and then we had an evening show. So we had two shows that day. And the first show, we were in a serious scene, me and Jance on stage, and I just completely messed up my lines. I was talking about how it was the day that my character, I played Zero in Holes, and it was talking about how it was the day that my mother ended up just disappearing from my life. But I messed up my lines, and I said we went to go get an ice cream sundae, and we got money on top. And I thought this was the most hilarious thing, and I just started laughing during the serious scene. And I was really, really upset with myself. So then the next show came around, and I didn't want to do it again. And then I just remember throughout that whole second show that night, it was I always look back on it, and I remember that show being my best show of that whole entire run of shows. And it was just a feeling of this is where I want to keep doing things. I want to be on stage because I can mess up in one aspect, and then I can always fix it as soon as in the very next opportunity. And there's nobody's gonna look down on you because you messed up on one thing. And I bet that everybody who watched that show that night does not remember me saying that there was money on top of my ice cream. So
I'm going to tell you, I watched that show, and I do not remember that either, because I was up in the booth for all those ones. But yeah, that's actually one of my favorite things about theater, is just that fact that that lesson I've learned of just it's okay to make mistakes. We kind of fix them and we kind of move forward. And I think that we learn so much from the mistakes that we make, and that's who we become. And you articulated that really, really beautifully. So that was really awesome. Holes is definitely always a show that's going to have a special place in my heart as well. One of my favorite moments is actually when you and your mom got to play your mom in the show, and you guys have this nice hug at the end of it, and it's always just one of my favorite moments that we've had. But yeah. What are your future plans?
All right, so I'll be attending Stanford University next year in California, and I'm hoping, I don't necessarily know what I'm going to study for sure, but I am looking into psychology, history, and statistics right now. And then, of course, I will always do my best to be involved with theater there, because that's something I don't want to just let go as soon as I go to college.
Absolutely. Are there any other memories or things you would like to share with our audience this evening?
I just want to say how much I love the experiences I got from interning and being an intern at ACT just over like summers and over the school years, because they've just been like so amazing and so rewarding, and they've helped contribute to what I want to be in my future. I know that I want to go into something with education at this point. I want to make sure that's part of my life, because I feel like whenever I was in a classroom with like kids or no matter what age group, it's just always felt like a place where great things were happening, and I wanted to always be there. One of my favorite memories from interning came from when we did Aladdin for our summer stage show, and I was doing set construction as an intern for that show, but I also helped Lewis a bit with props. So one night we wanted to do High Adventure with a bunch of random props, and so we gathered like 20 to 30 random props that we could find, and like the most like the silliest things that we could find that could take the place of a sword, because we didn't have like very many swords, so we just thought, why not just use random things? And then so we brought it all down, and then everybody grabbed one prop, all the kids did, and then I went upstairs to watch it, and it was just a really, really great experience just watching all these props go out on stage. And in the end, I know we didn't use it because it took away from like the song and stuff, but it was just really fun getting to watch it that one time.
Yeah, it's that trial and error of things as well. But also we kept a few things, like the giant bone?
Yeah, we had the giant bone. We kept a few of the little pieces, just not everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. Well, Jonathan, I just want to take a moment to thank you for all the things you've done, and just having you around has really meant a lot to me, and I know I've learned as much from you as hopefully you have from me as well. So thank you for just being a wonderful member of our team here. We are very grateful for you. Well, you have a talent that you're doing as well. I'm going to throw it over to that right now.
Give to me the life I love, let the lake go by me. Give the jolly heaven above, and the byway nigh me. Bed in the bush with stars to see, bread I dip in the river. There's the life for a man like me. There's the life forever. Let the blow fall soon or late, let what will be o'er me. Give the face of earth around, and the road before me. Wealth I seek, not hope, nor love, nor a friend to know me. All I seek the heaven above, and the road below me. Oh, let autumn fall on me, where afield I linger, silencing the bird on tree, biting the blue finger. White as meal the frosty field, warm the fireside haven. Not to autumn will I yield, not to winter even. let what will be o'er me. Give the face of earth around, and the road before me. Wealth I ask not, hope, nor love, nor a friend to know me. All I ask, the heaven above, and the road below me.
We also would like to let you know that you are our other scholarship recipient, so you also have won us the Hoffman Scholarship for this year as well, so congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Congrats! Yay!
Thank you.
Yeah.